And
Kill Duval!
You know what it is, man. You're locked in the Third and Teal where they keep it real. And if you don't know, you're going to learn today. Third and Teal, baby, and I'm out. Let's go.
Third and Teal, we are back. I was gone. It's not their fault. It's mine. I got married, went on a honeymoon, did all the things. We went to 3 separate museums. We are that couple on our honeymoon. We went to the Titanic Museum, the Crime Museum, and like a furniture / automotive / everything museum. It was like a furniture store that was also a museum. It was weird. And then if you count the Dolly Parton one about her whole thing, technically 4. But we had a good time up in Tennessee. It rained a lot of the time.
That's Tennessee.
But yeah, it's Tennessee. No, it was a good time though. We stayed in a cabin on a creek. It was pretty cool. And so it was a good time, man. How y'all been? How you been, Trevor?
I've been great, man. Been great. We've been hanging in there. We got a show in.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't the same without you. It wasn't the same.
No, it ain't the same.
Yeah, Curtis doesn't bring that energy like that BBE, that big beard energy. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's it. Yeah, it's the BBE. Yeah. That's trademark. You got to trademark that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's things are moving along. Work's been all right. I'm back to earlier shift for a little bit, so Third and Teal we may be coming a little bit earlier during the week, but we'll see. But what do y'all boys want to talk about? I know we had a little interview with Gladstone and Cohen. And Cohen says something that I really like to hear, and I don't know if y'all want to talk about that now or in a little bit.
We can spit it out now. Let's do it.
So when you're looking at it, you have to think Parker Washington and Dyami Brown. Those are your 2 and 3,
along with BT. Yeah,
I mean,
I like it.
I like it. Go ahead, Eric.
No, I was gonna say, how could you not see that coming?
Mm-hmm.
How could you not see it coming?
Yep. Gabe Davis went back to number 13. He went to his Buffalo number. If he brings even half a better performance than he had last year, he'll be a great number 4 for us this season. But that's if we don't draft somebody to be ahead of him. Even so, I think the Parker Washington one, I do like. He kind of said Parker then Dyami, and then he said goes to your 2 and 3. I think Parker Washington has a underrated down the field presence. He's a much better contested catch and deep ball guy than they give him credit for. Kind of similar to how Kirk was, but I think that he operates better outside than Kirk did. But I'm pretty excited to see it, man. I think giving Parker Washington a whole season to kind of hey, this is it. It's either you do it or you don't, and we'll either get somebody else or we're re-signing you. I think it'll be a good opportunity for him, and I'd love to see it. If we don't draft a superstar in the draft.
I think something that's different with Parker than most people that we've had is that we gave him the time to come into his own. So he actually had the time with some opportunities here and there sprinkled in, increasing responsibility and roles within the organization. I think we gave him time to come to his own. So he should definitely be the 2. But what I'm really excited to see, though, is it seems like we have an organization in a front office now that looks at things with common sense like we do now. I don't give a shit that we just got you last year. You were ass.
Exactly.
You're not starting. You were ass. And
that's
not gonna lie though, Dyami Brown, still some question marks on him. He did really good in the playoffs last year, but that's the only time in his career he's ever done good. So hopefully that was just him breaking out and he continues it. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's anytime you have a new GM and a new head coach together, there's always evaluations that's going to happen with the team, with the members of the team that was a part of the previous regime. And I'm sure now that free agency has been over for a minute for us. They've been really, as we mentioned before, they've been sitting back watching film and evaluating who we have on the roster right now. And honestly, there's a few players on the team now that basically has to prove their worth this year. Or they're gonna be gone. It doesn't matter, the size of the contract, they'll be gone. Eric Armstead is one of them. I think Tank is going. I love Tank, but I think Tank is another one as well as ETN.
ETN will be one, but I don't think Tank will be one. Tank's still on rookie deal. I don't think Tank's going anywhere for a while.
Yeah,
if Tank has a down year, what I think they'll do is they'll remediate him another year, try to build him into the system a little better, and then if he flops, they might try to do something. But he's on his rookie deal still. They're not gonna move on from him until they know they have to. But Travis is absolutely on a prove it year. He has to. Devin Lloyd absolutely has to.
Right. And
that's fucked up.
Yeah, I saw that, man. I was like, yeah, that's about right. And you have the tackles, Anton Harrison. I think he's on one of them. Walker Little also.
Walker Little to me should absolutely be on a prove it year because he damn sure didn't do nothing after he got his money, and he didn't do nothing before it either. So I think he should definitely be on one. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't want Walker Little to start. I want them to address it in the draft somehow, man. I don't trust him up there. I just don't. At one point in time, a couple of years ago, I absolutely did. I feel like if they would have given him his fair shot then and not fucked with him so much and kept moving him from place to place to place to place to place, I feel like he could have really grew into it and flourished there. But I think that time has passed now. I just don't trust him there. I think just about the only one that I'd be comfortable with from our line last year, like sitting in a spot is when they're healthy, is Ezra. I trust Ezra Cleveland when he's healthy. I mean, when he's not banged up, he was playing pretty solid. I mean,
I agree.
So I trust Ezra Cleveland. I'm still pissed though, man. We're gonna dump all this money into free agent offensive linemen, and you don't go get the best one available. Like, what the fuck was that? I don't know. That one didn't make much sense to me.
Trevor, I thought about it, and we mentioned it before. We never knew what were the particulars of what his team was asking for, to bring him in.
No, Mekhi Becton was a free agent.
I know, but you still got to negotiate. Yeah, but you still got to negotiate the contract, right?
So we gave Jordan Lewis all that fucking money to be a guy that has gotten dog walked in Dallas.
Well, he's better than Savage, apparently.
He's a good slot.
So. I think he's an okay slot. He plays in phase too damn much. He's not an in-phase corner. The only reason it kind of worked out for him is because he plays next to one of the best in-phase corners in the league.
Who?
In phase, as far as talking about in phase, Trayvon Diggs is one of the best in-phase corners in the league. He's not the best. He's not the best corner in the league, but when it comes to playing in phase, now out of phase though, nah, man. Jordan Lewis is not. I'm not saying he's bad or anything, but we gave him a lot of fucking money for the stats that he has. Like, we gave him a lot of money, and if we were willing to give him a lot of money, and we gave Eric Murray a lot of money too for who Eric Murray is.
Yeah. Well, what?
I'm not saying I don't like the pickups though, because they're still going to be solid contributors to their positions, and it's not like I'm saying I don't think we should have brought them in. What I'm saying is we were willing to give that money to those guys. And then you see the deal that Mekhi got in Los Angeles, and it wasn't outrageous.
Well,
it really wasn't outrageous.
And we only gave Murray, what, $5 million a season?
Yeah, but he ain't done a fuck thing. Nothing.
I mean, better than Cisco.
I don't know. I think they were probably about equivalent.
Cisco had one good year, and then after that, he just fell off because he kept getting hurt. He put on that weight. He
did get slow as shit after
whatever it is. We can make as many excuses as we want, but at the end of the day,
he never bounced back.
Andre Cisco did not bounce back, and
no, he didn't.
So Ashton Jeanty put out a letter to the NFL.
He did. I thought that
closing
was
statement, and this makes me want to draft this guy. The closing statement: I've taken the long way. I'm done with that way. If you pick me, it's simple. I'm coming to your franchise to do what Saquon did with the Eagles Saquon and the Eagles just did. I'm coming to win big soon. He said, it's tackle football, all caps on tackle. You know what I'm saying? I draft the guy they can't tackle. Thank you for your time, Ashton Genty. And he's been drawing some comparisons to who? Jaguars legend MJD. There's even some analysts like, hey, there's going to be a wacky pick somewhere at the top. Just go ahead and make it and get the best running back in the draft.
Yeah, well, I think I mentioned that last week, didn't I, Trevor?
Yeah, I was about to say, me and Eric talked about that last week.
Yeah. So
I mean, do we have bigger, more pressing needs?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Does it hurt us or set us back to pick Ashton Genty at number 5? I don't think so.
No, I mean, we've been talking about the whole time how we're in no man's land. We can't say that just one pick is going to set us back if we're saying we're in no man's land at the same time.
I think with how deep the corner class and the edge class and the interior offensive line class is this year, I don't think we set ourselves back. I think if we pick him there, we're going probably lineman, corner, something number 36. Is that where we pick in the second round? 34, somewhere around like.
Yeah, it's up there. It's like
37, something like that. But I mean, it's. I wouldn't be upset by it. Now, do I think it's the best option, best route at number 5? No. Do I think we could, if we traded back and got a couple extra picks and then took him at like 8 or 9, I'd be pretty happy with that. But we'll just have to see.
Yeah,
I like that.
We got
it's gonna be interesting.
we got 10 picks this draft. So yeah,
10 this year, 11 next year. I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, as we were saying, just depends on how the first 3 go, and then we can work. We'll work from there. Speaking of defense, Trevor, your favorite players is up for trade. Do you want him still, or has he gone past his prime? And
first and foremost, I know who you're talking about.
Okay,
I know who you're talking about. First and foremost, I think he's past his prime. I will say that, but I don't think he's so far past his prime that he's not worth bringing in. I don't think that. He's definitely better than Savage still. He's miles better than Monteric Brown. And at this point, I still think he's better than Tyson Campbell. So, no, I absolutely. Fuck yeah, we should bring him in. If that's something that he would be interested in doing, abso-fucking-lutely you do that.
Okay.
Yeah, you do that. We've got enough fucking draft capital to make a deal happen. Make it fucking happen. Yeah. I mean, seriously, we're paying all these other guys shit that, he's better than Jordan Lewis. Hell, he could switch to safety and be better than Eric Murray still. And I'm not trying to dog on those guys, but that just speaks to the fact that Jalen Ramsey's still a high-end player, man. He is. He's not. I'm not saying he's the elite best corner in the league like he was. He's not. But he's definitely still top 10. Definitely still top 10 corners. He's absolutely worth bringing in.
All right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, and I think Miami's getting to a point now where they're just teasing everyone about blowing that bitch back to the studs and rebuilding it. They just need to go on ahead and do it.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do because they know that's what it's going to take. They're done. Their championship window closed. And, yeah. So I mean, that being said, man, yes, we should do it. Absolutely, 100%. Yes, we should do it.
Okay.
So,
so that would put him where on the left side, because Tyson not moving from the right.
I put him wherever the hell he wants to go. Wherever he wants to go, he can go there. Because he's going to play better than any option we have there. So,
y'all see the apparent comments from Travis Hunter that makes me not want to draft him even more?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
I saw that.
That dude is a diva. He's
straight up.
Bro,
how dare you say you're not going to fucking play? Like, bro, you shit me.
You can't make demands like that and then let your girl go grind on other dudes at parties if you sit outside, okay? This is outrageous to say never play again, period. You're not going to do that. You're not that stupid.
Yeah, shut up.
You're not that stupid. You're going to sign your contract and you're going to play whatever they tell you to play, and they'll give you some gadget plays here and there depending on what side of the ball they want you to play on. You're not going to retire, okay? Deion Sanders retiring your number at Colorado for being what? The best cornerback on the number 7 team in your conference to never win a championship, to never win anything. Congratulations. Like
Yeah,
what are we even talking about, dude? This is ridiculous. For him to
But
come out and say that is crazy.
yeah, but it is Colorado, so hey, I don't think they had anything that good since Slash. So
You know what it is? He's realized at this point that he's fallen in the draft. He's realizing that he's not going to be number 1. He's not going to be number 2. He probably won't even be number 3. He might not be top 5. I think he's realized that. I think he's trying to push himself down the board at this point. He's got plenty of money. Money's not an issue for him. At
Right.
this
He's
point,
got money.
He's got money. He wants to try and push himself down the board as far as he can go, try and go to a contender. And then when he signs with whenever one picks him up, you can go, oh, I'll do whatever you want. I'll play wherever. I'm a team guy. That's all he's trying to do at this point. He's not actually going to stop playing football because an NFL team picks him and says, oh yeah, man, we want you to play corner and we're not playing you wide receiver. Maybe here and there, like Deion did, but it's not happening. It's not happening.
Where you think he got that idea from?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I guarantee you. Deion said, Travis, come on over here, man. We just gonna push ourselves down the board, man. Just tell them you won't play if they don't play you both sides. And then when a team like the Bills or the Chiefs or the Eagles or somebody like that picks him up, oh yeah, sure, I'll play one way. I never had a problem with that. Of course I'll play one way. What are we talking about? So dumb.
Well, I think what the problem is when he's finding out, I think what it really comes down to is he's finding out that teams are going to try to limit him to the one way.
Mm-hmm.
And he's remembering quickly that he's not a top 5 or even in a lot of cases top 10 option on either side. The only reason we're talking about him in such a high regard is because he did play efficiently on both sides. So we're not talking about a guy that's say for instance, we're talking about him as a wide receiver. You don't pick him at number 5. He doesn't go that high. Mm-mm. And say we're just talking about him as a corner. You don't pick him at number 5 either. He doesn't go that high either.
I heard I forgot who it was. One of the commentators on one of these talk shows, and what he said made a whole lot of damn sense. He says he's good. He's good as a corner. He's good. He's all right as a receiver, but he's not the master at anything. You know what I mean? He's not excellent at anything.
That was Steve Smith Sr. said that.
Okay. Yeah. So with that, you look at it, you're like, that's a damn good point. So how you gonna come in and try and dictate where you gonna play at? You get in where you fit in. And plus you're a rookie. So that means you're gonna have to unseat some veteran somewhere. And that just ain't gonna be that easy. I'm sorry. So
no, it's not. You're not gonna. No. It's not even just that it's not gonna be easy. You're not gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. My thing too.
What's good, Robert? Thank you for joining us, man.
Yeah, like I've said multiple times, people are taking good play in a terrible conference with outstanding stamina and making that to be the greatest player in college football. If he played, something else, if he played linebacker, if he played safety, if he played running back, it'd be a little more impressive if he's playing both ways. But you're playing the two softest positions in the sport. Running, all you're doing is running. It's not like you're going in there and tackling dudes and going into the pile. What? Scraping. GT scrapping. We need to draft him. GT got jumped by 7 kids, laid them all out. Yeah, we were just talking about GT a little bit ago, Robert. But yeah, no, I mean, I think that people are overvaluing Hunter's stamina versus his actual play on the field versus, just the lowest level competition in Power 5 football.
And that part right there, Isaiah, think about it. You playing both ways in college. That's college. Now you about to go into the league where there's big wide receivers, big men. Okay. Yeah, you I don't care what kind of stamina. That takes a toll on you. And if I'm a GM and I'm drafting you and I'm finna invest all that money in you, no, you're gonna play one position and that's it. I'm sorry. Maybe if Maybe I put a play in too for you on offense, but
Yeah,
basically,
you know it, Curtis.
basically, I'm putting you in one spot, and that's where your butt gonna stay. Now, and then you have to earn your starting position. You're just not gonna come in and I'll make you keep you CB1. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen.
No, I'm gonna be honest though. If we drafted him, he could obviously contend for CB1. Let's just be
Oh.
real. No, he can cross the field. He's already immediately got more versatility. He's faster. He does have better ball skills. Like he absolutely could immediately contend for CB1.
I don't know that he's faster than Tyson Campbell.
Or at least he plays faster on the field. Like maybe like reading the play, not like literally sprint.
Curtis, my military background would not allow me to put all that hair on my face. I'm sorry. That just that drives me crazy.
Robert, I'm gonna point this out though real quick. This is one downside I have to say. Okay, so like I love Genty. I want to be clear. I love Genty, but Genty did run for all those yards against fucking nobodies most of the time. His two worst games were against the two legitimate defenses he played, Penn State and Oregon. Now, hold on. I'm about to say though. I'm not discrediting him. He still ran for 100 yards on them. Okay, like he was still running, and I still think he'd be a fucking dog here. Like, just to be clear, I still think he'd be a dog. But like he ran
for what 150 and 3 touchdowns against Oregon.
I don't think he ran for that much on Oregon, but I know he only ran for 95 on Penn State, and that was without Abdul Carter.
Curtis said Oregon had a defense. Yeah.
Maybe the legit teams in general, but
yeah,
no. Either way, though, my point is, Genty's a dog, but he also had a shitload of carries. It's not like he was averaging like.
Genty ran for 192 and 3 touchdowns against number 7 Oregon.
Oh, so he killed him then. Yeah, I just remember. I thought his two worst games were Oregon and Penn State.
Second one? I mean, they probably were his 2 worst games, but that's how good he played. He averaged
he's
over
still
200
a fucking
yards a
dog.
game. But
I remember the Penn State one's the one that really sticks out because the one with Penn State, I thought didn't he rush for like 95?
I'm about to show you why it sticks out. There's a reason that there's a reason, and I'm gonna show you right now. Give me a second. I'm pulling it up.
Bet.
Because you're about to see Penn State literally was running 10 and 11 man boxes.
Yeah, I know. They were dropping everyone on them. Robert, you're right. We couldn't get a yard last year, but that's not – I don't think a running back alone solves that problem.
I agree.
Our offensive line is why we couldn't get a fucking yard last year. We had the backs. We have good enough backs that could make a yard, but yeah, they're dropping everyone in the fucking box.
No, watch this shit. Watch GT.
Fucking dog.
But that's not even the one I want to show. That's just he's got good acceleration, good discipline, good eye discipline.
Hell, he had a hole big as the damn.
No. Hold on, you're about to see.
Okay,
I'm about to show it.
We could have ran through that and got 10 yards. Hell.
That's his best run of the game, 26 yards. That's what I'm showing you. I'm about to show you though the one I really want to show you. Whenever I find it is hold on.
Genty could do that, Curtis. You're right. We're not just talking about like a bad offensive line. We were talking about an abysmal offensive line of 4th and 5th stringers at one point. Like everybody was gone.
And we know Joe Mixon was on that cocaine, Curtis. Stop playing.
Yeah, stop the madness, man.
He was on that white powder.
Hell, man, no, you talking like you still didn't have Laramie Tunsil over there too, man.
I know, right?
Now, Joe Mixon does make yards. I'm not going to discredit it, but you talking like you still didn't have somebody to run behind. Like, stop it.
Where is this?
But our offensive line is 100% our biggest problem, no doubt.
Hey, that's the Cowboys. Yeah. That's
You know, Robert, it's funny you say that. The comparison I made just earlier today for Genty was Fred Taylor. I literally was talking about he reminds me a lot of Fred Taylor. Like the way he runs is just an angry fucking runner with a fucking and he can catch.
Yeah.
I don't want to take him at 5. I want to trade back a couple spots, get an extra pick out of it, take him at 9 or 10.
You know, that's what I was about to say. If we take him at 5, that would probably be one of those best available player type of things. If we do that, and the question is, do you really want to do that? You know,
I personally
This
would
the-
rather see than Mason Graham.
This is the best one I'm seeing
yeah.
of like the play I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. But okay, all right. I understand, but that's some poor tackling.
No. My point is that he just amazingly did. I'm saying that was what he was having to do the entire
Yeah,
game.
the Raiders will
Was-
get him for sure.
Was going 10. They were going 10, 11 man boxes. The touchdown Boise State scored against them, the passing touchdown, the tight end was open by 40 yards because they literally did not have anyone back there. They were running the engage 11 and hoping they wouldn't throw the ball. And that one, like they just, Penn State refused to let Ashton Genty break the rushing record against them. That's all it was. It wasn't that necessarily that is how they had to beat him, but they would not let him break that rushing record if it killed him. They'd have let him throw for 300 yards that game if they wanted to, but I don't think that we should base one game where they were stacking 10, 11 guys in the box. I
don't base just that one game. Like I said, he's still.
I know
dominant.
what you mean.
Yeah, it's just there are other things to look at. There's sample sizes for sure, and I think Curtis is right though. He is complete as they come. I said the other day. I think I said it on the podcast. What, a week ago?
Mm-hmm.
I think I was talking to you guys about, or a week and a half ago, I was talking to you guys about. It would be the Liam Cohen thing to do.
Would it?
It would have Liam. I either said it to you or I said it to the guy, my classmate. I can't remember anymore. But I know I said it the other day that it's the Liam Cohen thing to do is to take him. I mean, he runs the ball. It's not like Bucky Irving is great. Imagine what his offensive scheme could do with a legitimate fucking elite back.
Yeah, well, I guess in 7 days we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah.
In 7 days we will find out. Look,
that might have been on this AFC South show, Curtis. It could have been. I don't remember. My days are running together right about this minute.
It may have been both. Hell, it may have been both. Trevor.
Yeah, it may have. But again, the point is, like I was saying the other day, there's no telling what Gladstone and them are going to do. It's a completely new regime, and it's absolutely in the wheelhouse of Liam Cohen to take an Ashton Genty here.
Okay.
It is.
I mean, do you think that ETN or Tank Bigsby are as good as or compared to Bucky Irving?
Yes.
Really?
I think Tank Bigsby can be. Absolutely.
I
think if you
say,
put and honestly, I believe Travis can be too if you gave him a line to run behind. I definitely believe that. I believe they're both comparable if you gave them some line to run behind. Because Tampa, they don't have the best line in the league, but their line's better than ours.
I still say.
But yeah, I do believe that.
ETN.
I was just about to say, Curtis even said the same thing. I think Bucky had a better line. Exactly. Like,
I agree.
I think I absolutely. I do believe that. I believe ETN and Bigsby both are better than Bucky with a comparable O line.
I wouldn't go that far, but I do think they're. I think they're close.
I would. No,
I'll say this.
I think Bigsby could probably be better.
I think people are quick to forget what Travis Etienne can do when he actually has a hole. Because there's been a couple times he missed the hole, but I think that's going to happen when you get used to not having one.
Okay, I was saying because he missed a whole lot of holes, but you cleaned it up.
I mean, I'm not going to say that's excusable,
Right.
But at the same time, though, I mean, if every time you got the ball for the first 25 snaps of the game, there's no hole, and then there's finally a hole, you're not even looking for the hole no more because it's never fucking there. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's legit. I can't make an argument with that. That's legit.
What do you mean? Which one neither can block? Do you mean Bigsby and Etienne? No, I agree with that. I'm not saying they can block very good.
Yeah, because I watched ETN get blown up one time.
Curtis, you're right about that too. They did have the same QB. Baker's a dog, man. I think Baker's criminally underrated. But
Baker has grown.
I think Baker's always been a dog, to be honest with you. I think Baker's always been a dog.
When he came into the league, he still had a lot to develop. And I think as he's gotten better coaching, he has gotten better.
Yeah, Baker's a dog, though.
Yeah.
But again, regardless, though, No, I agree, Robert. I'm not saying we shouldn't take Genty, but also I can.
But Robert,
It's hard, man.
do we take him at 5?
Well, you have to. You have to because you have to because the guys right behind us, they know we're not taking a quarterback, so they're not going to trade with us. They don't have a reason to give us anything to move up one spot when they know we're not taking the quarterback they want. And then
also the Raiders.
The Raiders will take Genty.
They need a running back. They don't have anybody. They lost because they lost Josh Jacobs. They don't have nobody running back there besides, some no-name guys.
Damn.
I don't think they signed anybody.
Okay.
Yeah, Curtis, you're right, bro. No, yeah, he definitely came. He came in as a loud. He was just doing a whole lot of yapping, and then he started putting the ball through the air. Man, I'm telling you, Baker's a dog.
Yeah,
Baker is him.
They have Raheem
certified.
Mostert, 34-year-old Raheem Mostert.
Yeah.
Sincere McCormick, Zamir White, Dylan Lowby.
Yeah, they're definitely taking Genty, man.
Now their wide receiver core isn't great, but they just took a center. So Jackson Powers Johnson has that lockdown. They got Dylan Parham, who's in his second year.
And they got Bowers.
They got DJ Glaze, who's young. They got Brock Bowers. Really, all they need are wide receivers and a running back, and their offense is fixed. They
can get a serviceable wide receiver in the second round.
Unless they go
take
defense.
Genty.
True.
No, it's the Raiders thing to do, bro. They're taking Genty. It's the Raiders thing to do. They're taking Genty. But even then, okay, so we'll just say, all right, you have to take him at 5. If we're going to get him, it has to be at 5. It's just that simple. That's just that simple. We're going to have to get him at 5.
Say if that is
what I have to think about, okay, this is
okay.
I'm just being honest. Genty improves the run game, which does take pressure off the pass game. But there's no telling how long he can keep it up behind a shitty O-line. There's no telling. Fuck. Look at Leonard Fournette. He started out great, but that line kept giving way, and he got the shit beat out of him, injury prone.
Okay.
James Robinson started out great. That line got the best of him. He started getting the shit beat out of him, injury prone. Travis Etienne started out great. The line got the best of him. He started getting the shit beat out of him, injury prone.
You can't really say that considering he broke his foot and missed his entire rookie year.
No, I'm not talking about the foot. I'm talking about when he came in playing, his actual play time.
Yeah, you're right, Isaiah. I forgot about that part.
He had the list for his entire rookie year.
Yeah.
He lost an entire year of his contract.
I agree with that. I'm just saying, actual play time that we saw him on the field.
Good, but
he started out good.
Why do you? I don't think Travis Etienne sways me either way on this pick because Travis Etienne's gone after this year.
No, I don't think he's swaying me. I'm looking at more say for instance, if we're going to take somebody, just say you throw out a Will Campbell, say a Will Campbell, just something else we could really use, right? Say you throw a Will Campbell in there. You guarantee a better pass game. You don't know how much exactly with the rest of the pieces, but you guarantee it improves. Because that's one of the things that sucks. Trevor's snap to throw time is so fucking low.
I don't think Will Campbell gives us that opportunity. They're projecting him to play guard. He's got short arms. Sure. I'm not trying to bulky this up, but the only position that long arms really matters is tackle. If you're not punching the defensive lineman before he's punching you, it is very hard in the NFL to hold up against a guy like not many people can do it, but a guy like Myles Garrett, a guy like Cole Carter when he gets in the NFL, a guy like Micah Parsons, if you're not getting to them first or doing something, it's going to be really tough. And I don't think that. I don't know. I think if we're taking a lineman, I think you got to take Armand Membu personally.
Well, I still agree with that.
But I think we trade back though. I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah, say you use him as the example. Just say you use Membu as the example because I like the Membu pick too. I like him too. So first of all, hold on, I want to say this. Robert, you said you don't know if our free agent and draft are bad. Well, no, I don't know if the draft's bad because we haven't drafted yet. But the free agents, I can tell you right now, we've always made the fucking mistake of assuming free agents are better than they are. There's a reason they didn't get paid and they're free agents. I'm not saying they're not still going to be serviceable. And I'm not saying they're not still going to do a good job. But there's a reason that they were let walk. And every year we make that same mistake. We buy into our free agency. We're like, oh, we're super excited about this guy or this guy or this guy. And then they fucking flop. Some of them pay off sometimes, but it's rare. I'm not saying that they're going to be bad, but I'm just taking the bet that they will and hoping they won't. I would rather do that. I would rather prepare like not all of them are going to work out and hope they still do. You know, like when we go into the draft, I'd rather walk in the draft thinking we still have offensive line needs for certain. I'd rather walk into there thinking that. I'd rather walk in there thinking we still have cornerback needs for certain. I don't want to make the mistake we've always made of, oh, we addressed that in free agency. That's fine. It's not fine.
No, when I look at free agency, I think we did well as far as getting a lot of decent reserves or what have you. With
that's what I thought.
A few maybe of them being able to start, but yeah. we still need to address some of those needs.
That's what I thought. I think if we get Genty, right, this is just what I worry about. It's not that I disagree that Genty's elite. He is, and I know it. I know that. But you can only do so much if there's nothing to give you a second to move. You can only do so much. And like Eric just said, we did exactly what Gladstone intended to do with free agency. We raised the floor, not the ceiling. Those guys are the floor. One of them is projected to be a starter for us right now. Another one may turn out. But we've still got holes there. We've still got guys we don't even know.
Isaiah, pull up free agents we let go. That we didn't sign any free agents.
One thing I will say too,
we never signed any of them.
Yeah, that tells you a lot about
that's because they were terrible.
Robert said at 5, you take the see, Robert, that is the general thought process. However, the question is, who is the best player for your team at 5?
Well, and Curtis, let me ask you something. There, I've been saying Kelvin Banks for a long time that I like him. I'm not saying necessarily he's the pick, but I've been saying I like him a lot.
Let me ask you something though. How like name the best? Who do you think is the best tackle in this draft class? Who do you think is the best tackle?
That's tough.
Yeah.
But how many Will Campbells, how many Kelvin Banks, how many Armand Membus, how many Gray Zables have we seen in the past 20 years?
Of projections or ones that actually panned out?
Projections. Because that's all it is right now.
Yeah, you've seen quite a few. You've seen some.
Yeah, we drafted.
I see what your angle there is. It's like, so you take Genty now because there's not another Genty. But you can get that tackle next year.
What'd you say, Eric?
I said, hell, we did it with Anton Harrison. Remember?
Anton Harrison. We traded back.
I think Anton Harrison plays a lot better if he has someone beside him that's actually holding their own fucking weight.
So,
first of all, I just like to say that he would probably be a little bit stiffer if he wasn't worried about inside and outside.
That's a good point because Scherf was.
Yeah, it's Scherf got significantly worse last year.
Yeah,
and you notice what that does. I mean, breaking down to the outside for Anton, he's cooked.
I'm trying to find it.
I do agree with you there, Robert. Membu or Zabel. Zabel's a beast, but I agree. Genty is one of 4 in history that did that. I think Genty's the guy for me overall. I'm just stating the worries. I think it's something to be concerned about.
Let me ask y'all a question. And because this is a very unusual draft for this as far as offensive linemen, where are the offensive linemen for Wisconsin and them road graders? Where are they? I haven't heard any of them being mentioned. Where are those schools are known for big
every year
physical offensive linemen.
Just not this year. Yep. They're not here this year.
Wisconsin, Appalachian State.
Yeah, I mean, where are they?
They're not here this year.
Yeah. So
I will say that
that's like a warning sign in itself.
I think me and Pete Prisco kind of have a similar take on this, is where there's no one guy that are on the radar for us right now that I could say, "Ooh, I'll definitely regret that pick."
All right.
That's why I feel like 5 is such a no man's land for us.
Exactly. I was about to say it's one of them spots where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
You are correct.
That's basically the way you're looking at it.
Big culture change there.
Let me see here. All right, so Eric, your guy Big O did not get re-signed.
I know.
He's currently unsigned though, so there's a chance we could bring him back as a camp body. Joe Giles Harris was signed. Deshaun Dixon is unsigned. Tim Jones was signed, thank God, by somebody else, not us, thank God.
Yeah.
Brandon Sheriff was let go. Jeremiah Ledbetter was let go. Mac Jones, Caleb Johnson, Dearness Johnson, Blake Hance, Luke Farrell, Josiah DeGuara, Andre Sisco, CJ Beathard, and Mitch Morris retired. Josh Reynolds, Evan Ingram, Devin Duvernay, Christian Kirk, and Ronald Darby were all either cut or traded.
Good.
And that's you know what I'm mentioning that. I'm like, we didn't re-sign them, but look at the ones that still out there unsigned. So that should tell you about where the flow was as far as our team was last year.
But that's my point. A lot of those guys he just named were free agents from last year too. Like there's quite a few free agents from last year's free agency class. I'm not saying that I know they're going to be bad this year. I'm just saying there's a reason they're free agents. And when Gladstone came in and he said, we're going to build through the draft, not through free agency, I think it's an old school mindset that we have in Jacksonville of being like, oh, we can trust in the free agents. No, the fuck we can't. No, we can't. Because trusting in the free agents is what's gotten us in these hit or miss years. Because these free agents we bring in, the reason they're getting these contracts here and there is because they'll have 1 year where they go super hot. Super hot. And then they'll just cool right back off and you'll never hear their name again. And that's what they do. There's just some players that do that. And we've had multiple teams in the past where, like, say, for instance, even our 2017 team, man, on offense, none of those receivers panned out to be elite receivers any other time. They never did shit after that. Nothing. Hell, AJ Bouye didn't do a whole lot after he left us. He had 1 or 2 more good years, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, because he went down. I think he went to Denver. Did he go to
Denver?
Yeah, I know he went back to Denver, but like he didn't.
No, he went. Did he?
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
He wasn't shit after he left, and Deshaun Gibson didn't do shit after he left for the most part. He was still playing, but he was getting cooked all the time. I mean, we just had a bunch of players that just that 1 year turned it on at the right time.
You know what, Curtis?
He sucked when he left us.
You know what, Curtis?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about Boye.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah. Allen Robinson, I think Allen Robinson got a bum deal in Jacksonville because he got hurt and they just shipped him off. They didn't even give him a chance. Even though
we signed Marquise fucking Lee.
Yeah, we kept Marquise dog shit Lee. I was so pissed about that. That was trash.
Yeah.
No, but to be honest with you, man, but even then, that's still the point though. It just points to it even more. But Robert, I agree with you that Patrick McCarry is going to can be a beast at tackle or guard. But again, if he was that damn valuable, they wouldn't have let him go. Something is going on. There's something we're not seeing because they had him for a long time and now they don't. So I'm not saying that he's not going to be usable. He's going to be usable and he's going to give us good reps.
How long has McCarry been in the league?
I don't remember an exact number, but I remember knowing McCarry was there with Baltimore for a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think he's in his 5th or 6th year.
Yeah, he's been there for a few years. No, I mean, Robert, I know he's good. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just saying he's one of 5 positions on that line that we can know are good.
But okay, look at it this way, and we talked about this. Is he better than what we already had or have?
Well, yeah, that's why he was a good free agent signing. I agree that he's going to be he's an upgrade than what we had, but we were playing fucking nobodies.
Well,
like literally nobodies.
The point is, he's still better than what we had, correct?
Yeah, but I'm not. That's not enough. That's not enough. You can't run a run game off of better than what we had when we were playing.
Trevor, Mr. I don't like free agents over here talking about how the free agents aren't good enough. Come on now. We're going to build through the draft. Trevor, we got draft picks.
I agree with that.
We're going to draft Ashton Jeanty and 9 linemen. Come on now.
I'd do that. I don't give a shit. I'd do it. Fuck it. Hey, if that's what you did, at least I can see that they were committed to a plan. You committed to a fucking plan, my guy. You were all in. Yeah, and Robert, you're right. He is better than Scherf. Like, I agree he's
Yeah.
better than what we had. I'm just saying, if you're going to try to build the run game that Liam Cohen runs, that power formation, you got to have a good to above average line. And we had way below a good line, and we damn sure didn't even have an average line. So there was just my point is there was a lot of work to be done there that I don't think we completed with free agency, and it needs to be continued through the draft.
Of course.
It needs more work.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. I do. But at the same time, you bring in Makari. Anything, you put him at guard or where Sheriff is.
He can, if I'm not mistaken, he can play any position on the line.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So he's very versatile. But now, as we said earlier, we are right with Cleveland when he's healthy. So you put him over there next to Anton, right? But you still draft for the future. You understand?
Well, let's just say we signed a free agent for center. I don't remember the guy's name, but he was a Cowboy.
Hainsey. Hainsley or something like that. Haney. Yeah.
So we signed a center.
Mm-hmm.
We got Ezra. I would trust Ezra as long as the rest of the line is competent. I would trust him to not just get blown away.
Right.
I don't trust Walker Little over there. I think we need to do something about that big time.
Oh, yep, exactly. Well, yeah, we mentioned that. So, but that
was good, Robert. That one's good. That's good.
But yeah. So, yeah, we do it now, but we still draft for next year or the year after. And see, this is one of the problems I have with the NFL now, and I say it all the time.
Okay, see, I had it backwards. I appreciate that, bro.
And all offensive line is you draft these young players and you putting them in right away. And some of them pan out. Don't get me wrong, not many of them, but damn, look who they have to go against. They got to go against who got Houston? Anderson and what's his name twice a year, right? Then you have to go against the boys down in Tennessee, Sweat and the other big guy. I mean, so yeah, let the veteran handle it and teach, develop. Remember, Shots mentioned that development. But if you bringing them in and you putting them right there in the fire and they're not ready, you destroy them. I.e., Walker Little. Same thing. They brought him in. They moved him all up and down the line. Never let him settle in anywhere. And now he's on you got to prove what you can do, or you out of here. That's all I'm saying. I mean, is it a good position to be in? Kind of, sort of. No. I mean, depending on how you look at it, but that's where we are. Now, at pick 5, that's another one. We at pick 5, but damn.
I still think we could go into the second round and get a serviceable lineman, though, which is why I still think that Genty at 5 is good with me. I mean, because one thing I will say, I have reserves about Mason Graham at 5. He's a dominant player. He is. I just don't feel like that's our biggest need.
Yeah. Well,
but then again, a lot of people would argue that. A lot of people would say our biggest problem last year is we made plenty of edge pressure. We just had no interior.
Which was just the opposite a lot of times. The problem is, you know what, though? Honestly, it was more schemed than I think the actual players. I really do believe that. It was more
I can see that, too. But then again, Foyer's never been a blitzer. Devin Lloyd doesn't know what the hell he's doing. That was made obvious when they made him the green dot.
We blitzed a lot any damn way.
Yeah, so, I mean, So, Devin Lloyd doesn't know what he's doing. I think the only linebacker we have right now that would be a serviceable, just straight up the middle blitzer is Ventrell. Yeah. Ventrell is just a fucking heat-seeking missile, dude. I think if we wanted to generate some interior pressure, send that boy out. Boom. All right. See you later, Curtis. Appreciate you coming in.
All right, Curtis. Oh, speaking of subscribe, man, we had 297, man. 297.
We are. We're almost there.
Yeah. I ain't putting no work in this week, though, but I will. But yeah, so when you look at the roster and you look at Coin and Gladstone, you sit back and you try and look and see catch things they say to see if you get a feel for where they're going in the draft. With them saying with him already putting the Parker Washington and Brown 2 and 3. Okay, that tells you we probably won't go wide receiver at 5. Okay, so what else does that leave? Running back, eh, right? But offensive line, defensive line, linebacker, maybe even a corner. We have mentioned that, right?
Yeah.
So
I just
once
don't-
again, I don't know, man.
Robert, that's my point. See, Robert, we're on the same page with that. I feel like Smith and Jordan didn't even get a chance, and I think they are earth moving mountains. And something
Yeah.
tells me that with a fair shot at it, some more playing time, they're going to really become fucking monsters. They're going to be problems. And do I think they'll be Mason Graham caliber? No, I don't. But I do think that they'll be. No, I don't think they're gonna be Mason Graham caliber. I mean, Mason Graham is comparable to a Jalen Carter on some plays, and they're.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not possible, but I just.
I don't know because
Andy Reid did like Mason Smith a lot. He really liked him.
And Mason Smith did show up some last year. He did show up when he got a
No,
chance to play.
He's a dog. He is.
Yeah.
But also, one thing about it, two things for sure is, if we want to talk about things we can hold off on until next year, I think Eric Armstead's going to improve a lot once he goes back to his natural position this year.
Right.
I think obviously he's going to go back to natural form. He's going to be a lot better of a player.
Mhm.
Devon Hamilton did not play bad last year. So I think him next to Eric is still going to be good. I think Mason Smith and Jordan Jefferson coming in on rotation, that's going to be good, giving those guys some reps. I think we're going to see a lot better interior pressure. I think we just had a stupid-ass scheme that didn't work.
Yeah. I mean, you substituting 4 and 5 players every 4 or 5 plays, you're not
Nobody's getting a rhythm.
Right, getting their rhythm. Exactly. So, yeah. So, I mean,
you're right, Teal Tubman. He was. I remember that. He was a top 10 pick right before he got hurt.
Mhm.
Again,
So,
I just – it's not that I think that they're going to be bad. I think they're going to be great. I think that, I don't – that's why I have reserves about Mason Graham. That's why I don't think he should be the pick there.
As fans, sometimes we want our rookies to come in and just destroy right away. And what the people don't understand, it's a learning curve in the NFL, especially defensively with schemes and defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators, coming up with these crazy ass ways to play. And sometimes it may take a year or two, but you understand what I'm saying? So let's calm it down a little bit. Yeah. Okay, let's draft some linemen.
You're right, Robert. Dude, Josh and Trayvon not being on the field on third down used to make me want to pull my fucking hair out. Oh, I used to get so pissed about that.
Don't forget we got Abdul back there too. So yeah. Where is Abdullah? Ain't that his name?
Yeah, Yasir Abdullah.
Yeah.
What the fuck were we doing, man? Yeah, it's third down. It's 3rd and 4. We need to get a stop, get off the field. Yasir Abdullah is our edge rusher. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you kidding me, bro?
Him and Eric Armstead. Yeah.
It's like you're fucking lying to me right now. But I'll tell you, boys, I would be happy with Genty. And I'm very happy that, like I said that a couple weeks ago. I've been saying it for a while that I think Genty would be a good pick, and if it's what it seems like we're heading towards as a team. Yeah, you're right, Robert. He played way too much edge. But I've been saying for a couple weeks now that I think Genty would actually be – no, it was on this AFC South show because Curtis asked us for a name that we thought was a candidate but is not being talked about. And at the time, it wasn't being talked about, and I said Ashton Genty.
Yeah.
I said right then, I said Ashton Genty should absolutely be on our radar, and I think Jags fans should really start opening their mind up to the possibility of it because it would fit what we've been told our team is going towards. So taking Ashton Genty at 5 is not a bad move, and I'm glad that there are more mock drafts coming out now that suggest it just like we do. So,
you know what I always said? I don't have a problem with it because that allows ETN to be the third down back where he thrives in the open field. I always said that he'll be better out there, and then you don't have to worry about him trying to find a hole or getting injured so much. You know what I mean? Because he can catch in an open field. He's a dangerous weapon. So that gives us Tank, Genty, and ETN. Now,
if I'm not mistaken, on this AFC South show, I even said you take a Genty and you put him back there with Bigsby, you got an MJD and Fred Taylor type scenario.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I don't know why Jacksonville decided to get rid of Fred because I was like, how y'all do that? But anyway,
yeah, that's another painful story, man.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. You're absolutely correct. So
yeah, you got a two-headed tyrant that you really can't stop.
Thank you. You know, but 7 days, I guess we will find out in 7 days.
We will.
Yeah, 7 days. Be like, oh my goodness.
I just hope that Gladstone doesn't try to get too damn fancy with it.
I don't think so. I don't think he's that type of guy.
I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I just can't say that I know he will or won't do anything yet.
Put it this way. I don't think Tony Biselli is going to let that happen. I don't believe that's going to happen with him in charge. You know, I really don't. You know, because I've been watching, because I went back and watched The Hunt, and then I watched, a couple of podcasts Tony been doing. And I think Tony is keeping his eyes and ears and hands on things to make sure they're headed in the right direction finally.
Right.
So as long as he still keeps that level head, I think it'd be all right. I really do. But once again, we had pick number 5, fellas. Pick number 5. As we say, no man's land.
Definitely it really no man's land.
It's like right in the middle, and all these choices.
I'm trying to be pick number 32 next year, man.
I know, right? Hey, I can't even argue with you with that. I think everybody should thrive for us to be that pick. So legitimately, not because of a trade or anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's where we are, gentlemen. We have 7 days to try and figure this out. Of course, these mock drafts, they're gonna keep coming, and some of them are outrageous, some of them are repetitive. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I just get tired of looking at them and hearing about
clickbait. They're clickbait.
Man, you're like, okay, whatever. Keep moving on. Move on to the next one. Because, we about to hurt it. Until they said Jaguar, the pick is in, then we'll know for sure then. And then we have a good idea of what direction this new coaching staff and GM wants to take the team.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that simple. That's the way I see it anyway.
I agree.
So, yeah. And if you want to go and get Jalen Ramsey, go and get Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, we can
you should do that.
Huh?
That should happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got enough draft capital over the next 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's no excuse for that not happening.
It's not like he's
we need the veteran presence back there.
Right.
We need it bad.
And
there's no excuse.
Look, and he's not a Ronald Darby.
Hell no. Yeah, there's no excuse.
I hope in Jacksonville there's never another Ronald Darby.
Yeah.
Please, for the love of God, I can't watch another one.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Hey, but the problem was it took so long to recognize what we figured out after the first couple of games.
No, it's they took so long to do something about it. You can't ignore that, bro. That kind of ass cheek play that was going on. There's no ignoring that. They knew. They just refused to give up because they gave them all that fucking money.
Hey, it was an experiment gone bad.
That's Balky 101, baby.
Yeah. So that's it, baby.
That's all I got, brother.
All right. Oh, I ain't say what's up, Till Taliban. I like to speak to our guests in the chat room. Hey, y'all, in the chat room, if you got any Jags fans that hey, get them to like and subscribe. We're at 297. We trying to get
man, share the pod.
We trying to get to 3, baby. Come on, help us out here. Help us out. Put us over that mark, that magical mark.
Well, it was a good one as always. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on. I'm ready. I'm a little earlier at work now. Like I said, I'm not used to being up and like at work by 8, so that was a interesting thing today to do. But yeah, thanks for coming on as always, guys. Y'all got anything else before we close this baby out?
Duval. Wait a minute.
Waiting.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna get my other podcast going.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of everything. So I'll let y'all know. It's called Let's Talk the Video Files. I'm working on set. That's why y'all see the brick behind me, because I'm working on that right now. And hopefully I have a episode out either this weekend or next week. But be looking for that. I appreciate your support. All right. And Duval. Okay. Got to get it in. And Worm. Thank you,
Shout out
Worm.
Worm.
Isaiah, what's your wife's name?
Blessing.
Who?
Blessing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, ain't that sweet?
Shout out Worm.
In the house.
Amen.
Amen.
Peace. Y'all have a good one.
Later, y'all.
Oh, not leave studio. Whoops.
Bro,
End stream.
Raggy.
I'm not used to